It is World Refugee Day, and the head of the United Nations is making this appeal.
I ask countries in the developed world to increase their resettlement quotas, at least to the levels that we had 2 or 3 years ago.
Secretary General Antonio Guterres says more people than ever are fleeing war, disaster, and persecution. The majority of them are from Syria, Afghanistan, and South Sudan. Guterres is urging more support for countries hosting many of those refugees, such as Greece, Uganda, and Kenya. Ketty Nivyabandi lives in Ottawa. She is originally from Burundi and joins us now. Ketty, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
What does World Refugee Day mean for you?
Well, it's a painful reminder. It's a painful moment. It's a painful reminder of the day that I myself became a refugee, when I lost my life, I lost everything that I had built over years, and became stateless. But I consider myself to be fortunate to be where I am today, and I cannot help but think about those 65 million people who are displaced today and who live under tents, or sometimes not even in tents, because the camps are so overcrowded. And so it is really for them that I would like to echo the call by the UNHCR head that we really must do better.
When you left Burundi, what was the situation going on there, and how long ago was that?
I became a refugee in May 2015. In April 2015, the head of state decided that he was going to run for a third and unconstitutional term in office. And then citizens went to the streets to basically protest that. But the repression has been one of the most brutal repressions ever, and it's still ongoing. I myself went to the street and mobilized women to demonstrate, to do a peaceful women-only demonstration. But we were brutally treated by the police, and shortly after that, I had to flee for my life, and mostly to be able to be reunited with my children. And that's how I became a refugee. But that's my story. It's not the story of thousands of Burundians who have since been abducted, tortured, murdered in the most brutal manners. It's one of the most brutal regimes that are around today, and sadly underreported, largely underreported.
How easy was it for you as a refugee to secure a place to go to? I mean, what made you choose Canada? I first fled to the first country that was nearest, that was Rwanda, and then I moved to Kenya, and eventually came to Canada, really hoping that I was going to come here just for a short time, because no one wants to leave their country, especially the way that I did. No one wants to be a refugee, and. But when I got here, it was evident the threats against me were so large, I had to seek asylum. So I had to seek asylum right here in Canada. And that process was rather smooth, I must say. And so I've been here since September 2015. But again, that's my story. Many of those that I left behind have since died or are stranded in other countries in the most difficult circumstances. You left your home. You are now here. What kind of life have you built for yourself?
I'm still building, really beginning to. I'm just like a little bird picking up the pieces. I'm just starting to build my life. It's still very recent. It's very difficult especially when you're someone who's seeking asylum in country. The support that's there for people who are resettled is very different. So I'm really still trying to rebuild my life. It isn't easy at all. It's a very traumatic experience, first of all, personally, emotionally, and then it's a huge stress on you at all levels. You lose your professional life, your financial life, everything that you own is gone. And you have to find the strength to get up and do this. So it's also today, I also think of the resilience of refugees, the incredible resilience of refugees who come with these myriads of stories, the most painful ones, but they're still able to get up and, and start over. And that truly ought to be celebrated, and it ought to inspire all of us to try and do more to support refugees wherever they are in the world.
Originally from Burundi and now in the nation's capital, Ketty Nivyabandi, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too. Thank you.